It's time, Michael. My vengeance shall be complete. Ah! The hell? What? Damn you! Now because I know I have the box set, I'll have to review them all. Since my plans for reviewing have been ruined and they're now been on screen, the Superman series. Let's start with the first one, shall we? Long time ago, back in the 1970s, there were actually people capable of making original ideas and making original movies. Back then, having Superman be a part of something bigger than TV was actually a really exciting thing. The only problem would be actually being able to make him fly. Not to say that flying creatures haven't been done before, but a flying human has never been perfected up until this point. Although they did have a general idea of what made it effective when they did it. So literally this entire movie was actually an experiment, while also telling the origin stories and the first eventful villain battle of the Superman movies continuity, if you will. The movies don't exactly match the comic books, alright? We'll just get that off the chest. However, what the movies did was still take some of the ideas from the comic books, but make it its own thing, and try and make it as interesting and accessible to the populace as possible. With that, the first Superman movie is really good. We've got the basics. We got Superman. We've got his origins from Krypton. We have some big villain people who are introduced at the beginning and whisked away until the next film. Kneel before Zod! Later. What we do get, however, throughout this entire movie is Christopher Reeves in his first attempt at being Superman and doing so magically. And also with a slight bit of cheese. How to put it? He knew he was the big shit, but didn't try to pretend that he was the big shit. He tried to play it as loose and as personal, down-to-earth friendly as possible, while trying to make himself not that big of a thing, even though he really was, being that he was Superman and all.
Bad vibrations?
Then again, it's hard not to have the ego the size of a mountain when your father is apparently Marlon Brando, and will be for at least the next couple of movies. And I quite like how Marlon Brando plays off his things. I've actually seen some of the documentaries about this. Apparently they actually did put post-it notes of what he really needs to be saying in the particular parts of the movie. Which is not on how unlike I do things with this as well.
We will never leave you. Even in the face of our death.
Apparently those babies' diapers They're worth over a couple $1,000 worth of scripts. Meanwhile, we get in this mixed into this superhero movie. We actually start off as more of a coming-of-age sort of thing, done very quickly, though. Within about the first half hour, we have the basics of who Superman is, where he came from, and his trip to Earth, and his gradual journeys into becoming Superman, before he finally ventures off into Metropolis. And while one might think that this is taking an extremely long time, it's all worth it. It's all very well thought out, very methodical, and very well planned. Even the little comical bits about, oh, does he send money to his mother? Ooh.
Perhaps you could arrange for half my salary to be sent to this address on a weekly basis.
You're bookie, right?
A what?
Don't tell me. He sends a check every week to his sweet gray-haired old mother.
Actually, she's silver-haired. I'll see what I can do. Thank you very much.
Just all of these actors throughout this movie play it up to the nth degree and just feel right for the actual characters themselves, even if they have never experienced the comic books, which I'm not sure if they have, but I'm pretty sure they at least knew of the TV series, because that was the big shit back in the black and white television era in the United States. Couldn't swing a dead cat without hating somebody that wanted to see another episode of Superman. Also, we have Gene Hackman playing the infamous, evil Lex Luthor, with some sidekicks who, for the most part, are bumbling, but keep an otherwise psychotic and very nasty, dark villain on a slightly comical edge, too. Because he's never quite sure what his henchmen will screw up next, and what he'll have to do to them to make sure they never do that again. And also, he feels to be the smartest person in the room because, well, to be honest, he is. It's also funny that they tried to play around the fact that he is actually bald, which he naturally is in the comic books, and he doesn't fully reveal it on screen until the very end where he rips his hair off.
Who is it, Superman?
Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time.
Of our time?
I hereby serve notice.
He's serving notice to you.
That these walls...
These walls here...
Will you shut up, please, you...
All right.
And a few other things throughout the film. Just all kinds of visual hints at things that were amused. Even the fact that the good old phone moves of the yesteryear are no longer around. Also, I might add at the same time, underneath with all of this comedy, this action, this adventure, and everything else going on, it's also a story about, it's actually sort of paralleling on Spider-Man's comic book story, which is, with great power comes great responsibility. And taking up the responsibility of doing what he's doing, Superman also has to realize there's certain limits to what he should be doing. But there's just such a strong draw into his childhood as pretending to be a human, then losing his father to a heart attack. The near loss of Lois Lane at the end of the movie cripples him to the point that he has no choice but to do what he should not be doing. Which in itself should have probably been a little more epic, but they did hint to what they were going for at least, and that they kind of wished to have made it stronger than what it really was. So, the turning back time and saving Lois Lane was something he shouldn't have done. The thing is that he could do it. And for once, this one time, it was the right thing to do. Ergo, we allow him this, because that's not right, and Lois Lane should not have died that way, at least. There's much more life for these humans, and he will protect all of them as best he can, as often as possible. That being said, sadly after this film, Richard Donner, our wonderful director and script supervisor, if you will, was actually cast off the project despite the fact that he was preordained to be making 2 movies at once. Instead, we got somebody else to direct the last quarter of the second film, and it doesn't turn out as strong because, if anything, Mr. Donner is very, very good at telling a story visually, and not going for the obvious pitfalls that would befall so many directors, even at the time. And he made an excellent, highly imaginative, very well done superhero movie that even today dares to say, huh, you're just trying to copy me. At every single person that tries to do a superhero movie. To be honest, the only superhero movies that seem to have outshined Superman in recent years seems to be the big build-up to the Avengers movie, which in of itself was definitely a goddamn big build-up. And very well done and well thought out. But, it's very hard to choose between the two, because as much as I love my Marvel comic books, and even Matt loved his Marvel comic books, Superman has a place in the hearts of every child since the 1970s. And while I fear for him for his next movie outing, I told you to say all this! We shall still wait and see how it goes, and hopefully they can recapture just a glimmer of what makes Superman good, and what makes us proud to be fans. Till then, I'll catch you all later. And damn you, Michael!